What's up guys, it's Kasem with Digital Gladiator, making this video today for you guys about PBNs. So this is specifically going to be about testing PBNs as well as finding out or seeing if a PBN or an expired domain is worth purchasing for you or to add to your network. So I didn't actually plan to make this video ahead of time, but because of all the questions that people have been asking in our Facebook group and stuff, I decided it would be beneficial to you guys, so I'm making that for you. So first off, let's go into Majestic. So we're going to pretend that our website, digitalgladiator.com, is the PBN or expired domain we're testing. So we're going to put that into Majestic here. So that's digitalgladiator.com, and I apologize if there's any background noise. I'm not at home right now, I'm out of town, so there may be some police sirens in the background, who knows, but apologize ahead of time. Anyway, we have one referring domain, one referring IP, referring subnet, and one backlink. So this is the fresh index. Obviously there's a historic index as well, we can look at that. We generally just look at fresh index because historical is usually deleted, but you can also just take a look at historical if you'd like. So you can see that I have one of each, and then the trust flow is 0, citation flow is 0, so that can tell you that the backlink that I received was not too high quality, and therefore the domain itself, it only has one referring domain, and it has really no power at all because it has no trust flow and citation flow. Obviously, this is a disclaimer that Majestic is a third-party metric, so you can't just think about only Majestic. There are other factors at play, and you can't think about just Moz, even though I don't look at really DA and PA anymore because I do not think that it's an accurate metric at all. If you haven't heard of DA and PA, it's from Moz, moz.com. It's their sort of metric for figuring out if a domain's powerful or not. And then there's Ahrefs as well. They have their own system. I really don't look at that. I just look at trust flow and citation flow usually, as well as the actual quality of the referring domains. So if we go down here, we can see the anchor text. It's just it's branded and generic right there. So from that one link, it had a couple anchor texts from that same site that it was got the backlink from. And I looked at this earlier. It's just a forum. I guess the old owner of this domain had it kind of a gaming type thing, I think. I don't even know. Didn't really look into it too much. But anyway, so you can see this domain's not powerful. I wouldn't get this as a PBN. Obviously, this is my money site. Even though I'm not making any PBNs for it because I don't really want to do SEO for it right now. But anyway, we made it a couple weeks ago, and let's check we'll do the index check now, and we'll also do a spam check. So what those are is right here. An index check is you do site colon and the domain name. So in this case, Digital Gladiator, my spelling is terrible, .com. Let's see if we come up there. Yeah, we come up to our demos for our PBN setups, and then our home page and other pages right there. So that is great. Now let's take that away. This is the first kind of test to see if the site's penalized or not. So you can see we just searched the domain name without the site colon in front of it, and it comes up second here. So that's great, that's fine. It's a new domain, so I don't expect it to be powerful. Apparently this YouTube video is really powerful for Digital Gladiator. It makes sense, it has Digital Gladiator in the title, even though it's Gladiator Digital. But I looked at this earlier. I think it has a decent amount of views. Let's check real quick. I'm just kind of curious. Yeah, it has 160,000 views, so a very powerful video. And you can see it's mostly, I think they'd be at least mostly real views. It has 250 thumbs up, 11 thumbs down, it has 78 comments, so real views and stuff, pretty powerful. So not a problem there. As long as I'm on the first page as a new site, I'm totally fine. I really do not care at all. And then this is the spam check test. So for this, if the site is not in the first 3 pages for this, or ideally the first page, if it's a very competitive term, then and it's on the first 3 pages, then I'm fine. But if it's a really not competitive term like Digital Gladiator space com, that's not really that competitive. But if you had Google-facts.com or something, then that would obviously I'd be okay with that being on the 3rd page because it has Google in the name, which is absolutely competitive. So it's really the definition of competitive. But anyway, we did this test, and what it does is it's not the exact domain name. So you take the dot away, and it's kind of more of a branded search. and you can see if it's past page 3, that most likely means 99.9% of the time it's going to mean that it has some sort of penalty or filter on it that makes it not a clean domain. So looking at this, we're right there in the top like 7. This is the 7th position, I believe, or yeah, 6th position. I don't know why this YouTube video shows twice. It's a little like error or something with Google. I don't know what's going on there. Maybe just my computer showing that, no idea. But we can see we're up there, right there. So this is a clean domain. And then you can also obviously check archive.org. I mentioned that in the other video and actually showed you guys in the last video. So you can just look at that if you don't know how to do it. Simply you just put in your domain name there. It's really not complicated at all. Very simple. And the last test we do is on the domain itself. We'll link out to a site in the same niche as our money site's going to be. So if we're targeting a site for roofing in Utah or something, right? We target a Utah roofer. Then we're going to look for a roofer in another town and get their website. That's on the second page. So I'll show you guys right now. Actually, it makes sense to actually show you guys. So say we want to target a Utah roofer. Let's look at California. Jesus, my typing is terrible. California roofer, right? So we look at California roofer, and on our PBN, our anchor text is going to be California roofer, so that we can see if the PBN doesn't move the site up, or if it's a really competitive term and the PBN is not too strong. If it at least stays in the same position, I would say that's a pass as well. I'm really not too picky. But if it moves it down in the SERPs, if I link to a site for my PBN as a test, again, this is a test, if I link to it and it moves down, then I know that PBN is toxic and I'll get rid of it. But obviously there's a Google dance as well, so I wait about a week, give or take a few days. I'll wait about a week. If it's still down in like a week or 10 days, then generally it's not going to be good. But I'll leave it there for around 2-3 weeks just to see, because I don't want to throw away PBNs that aren't useful, or that are useful and I think they're not and make mistakes. So I'll usually leave it for around 2 to 3 weeks max. And if the site is still lower than the position that I first linked to it, then I'll drop that PBN. So looking at this, we're on the second page, so these sites are generally all healthy, and I'll look at it and I'll find a site. So let's use ircc.org, right? So I'll take this site and I'll go put it in Majestic real quick, and what I'll look for is, has this site gotten that anchor text yet, California roofer? If it's gotten that anchor text, I'll go to another site and look for that. So you can see here, independent roofing contractors of California. There's no exact anchor text for that, so I'll just send an anchor text from my PBN in the original article that has California roofer in there. So usually I look at this before I set up my PBNs, because I get the articles written obviously, and I'll make sure that that's the keyword I choose. And shameless plug here, but I'll show you guys our shop real quick. You can just get your PBN set up from us, or just get content from us. We have tons of different services here, even link rentals, which are pretty dope. But I had to show you guys because I've noticed a lot of people don't know that we offer this, so I kind of want to get the word out for you guys. If you are looking for a content writer or getting PBN set up, $34 is the base price for PBNs, but it goes down if you order more. So yeah, just that's really gonna do it for this video, guys. Really simple stuff, not too complicated. But I noticed a lot of people had issues with this and didn't know how to test PBNs, how to see if a PBN or expired domain or expiring auction domain is actually useful. So really, just check Majestic and take a look at their. Let's go to the backlinks tab. This is the other domain. Let's go to Digital Gladiator. So you see the backlink breakdown. Make sure the anchor text isn't really optimized, like over optimized. So if this is all like branded, generic, some keywords in there, and anchor text of the PBN. Obviously with PBNs you can be a lot more lenient because that's not the money site, but if all of the anchor text, like 100% of the anchor text is like one word or something, that's a little strange, a little unnatural, and it could be something to watch out for. And look at the backlinks. In the backlinks tab, just click on that. Obviously this only has one backlink, but if it has like a bunch of backlinks, take a look at like the top 10, top 20 backlinks and see if they're if they have high trust flow, high or similar citation flow, you want to have a similar ratio. So what that means is you want to have your trust flow and citation flow as close to each other as possible, or a 1-to-1 ratio would be ideal. But I usually choose up to 1-to-2 ratio. So if my citation flow is 20 and my trust flow is 10, that's a 1-to-2 ratio of trust flow to citation flow. So 10 trust flow, 20 citation flow is usually the max I'll go. So if the trust flow is 15, citation flow is like 35. Generally, I won't do it, but it's really a case-by-case basis. I don't have a hard and fast rule, but that usually is something that turns me off. I do just take a look at their backlinks manually and double check to see if it's a spammy site or not. But again, you want to have some sort of measure that, like a minimum trust flow or citation flow. And I've even seen people with like trust flow 5 PBNs ranking for crazy terms, competitive terms. So really keep an open mind with it. Don't take these metrics as like God's word or something, or the hard and fast rule, because they're not Google. At the end of the day, they're not Google, and they can't tell you what's going to rank and what's not going to rank. They are simply a supplement to your testing and to your finding out if a PBN is worth it or not. So not rocket science, guys. Again, if you're not even sure about a PBN, if it's like a expired domain, just buy it. Just like it's usually $10 or less to register. You could probably get it for like $5 somewhere real cheap. Use a coupon and then put it on hosting like EBN. My link's in the description. Like hosting like EBN, where you can easily take it off that hosting if it doesn't work out. But I mean, test it. It could be a diamond in the rough that you didn't find, that you didn't think about having before, but it could actually help your money site. So again, this is all my advice to you guys. Take what you will of it, and that's going to be it for this video, guys. Appreciate your time in watching this. Hope this helped. Subscribe if you aren't already, and make sure you join our Facebook group, guys. Appreciate it. Thanks.